Hi, welcome to another short video. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how I normally check O2 sensors on cars. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can use an oscilloscope and connect directly up to the signal output of the O2 sensor, or you can use a scan tool. Using the oscilloscope is more accurate, but it is more time consuming because sometimes you can't get access, easy access to the signal lead on the oxygen sensor. With a scan tool, however, all you got to do is connect it to your diagnostic connector and switch on your scan tool. All you really need is an OBD 2 type scan tool. You don't need an enhanced scan tool. The scan tool I am using here is an Autel MaxiDas DS708, but I'm only using the OBD function of that. I'm not using the manufacturer's data PIDs. Okay, first I'm going to do a custom list. Click on custom and go page down. I'll take engine RPM, and down here, the bottom one here, we have oxygen sensor output voltage, bank 1, sensor 1. I'm going to click on OK. I should also point out you want your O2 sensor hot. Before you do this test, you'd want to at least warm up the engine, bring it up to about between 1500 and to 2000 RPM, bring your engine up to normal running temperature. And the test has to be done with off idle. Doing an O2 test at idle is not good enough. Okay, right, let's go. What I normally do then, as you can see here, the output voltage here is swinging. You can see it going, it is moving, so there is activity on the actual O2 sensor. And if you wait long enough, you'll see it going throughout its range. I will just bring the engine RPM up now to about 2 grand. About 2 grand there. You can see it there, 0.7, 0.7. If you wait long enough, it might get up to the 0.8. You might catch it on 0.8. Okay, 0.79, yeah, 0.8, went to 0.8, and you also see it going down to 0.1. So you can see it's doing its full swing. But right, to see it in graph form, we just click on the graph, and what I'm going to do is for this, okay, go to 2 graph, and we're going to put the O2 at the top. Okay, it won't allow me to change them. Right, the engine RPM is at the top, and we have our O2 sensor here at the bottom. And as you can see, it's going from 0.1 up to 0.8 of volt, as you can see down here on the left hand side. And to me, that's a working O2. What it cannot check is the switching time, the time taken for go from rich to lean, which should be about less than 100 milliseconds. The scan tool won't do that, but it will check to see if it is switching okay. Right, I'm going to keep it up at 2 grand. And what you would have happening is sometimes you could have an O2 sensor stuck lean down here at the lean, and you don't know whether it's because it is actually lean, like you could have a massive vacuum leak on it, or is it the O2 sensor is faulty and it won't allow it to go high. So it's a kind of it's giving you a false indication that it's lean. What you can do is you can add propane into the intake manifold, and that should make it rich. You will hear the engine starting to stumble, and you'll also see if it's stuck in the lean condition here. If you look at your short-term and long-term fuel trims, you will see them in the positive direction. I'll show you them in a minute. What I'm going to do now is I am going to give the accelerator cable a few pumps to force the oxygen sensor lean, and you'll see I'm just going to bring it back down to idle. And what you should see when I'm giving it a few pumps of the accelerator cable is that this here should go high for a period when this RPM is high. Okay, I'm going to just... Now, as you can see, it went high, and what it should do then is go lean, and it went lean as well. When you take your foot off the accelerator cable, I'm just going to do a quick wide open throttle test. Went rich, and then it went immediately lean, and now it's swinging back again, normal. I don't know if you're getting that or not. Is my hand in the way? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to give it a quick wide open throttle test. It went from lean to rich, and then back down to lean when the accelerator cable going. I'll do it again, and this time I'm going to pause the waveform. And there it is when I start to accelerate, and this point was here already in the up direction, going to swinging up already. And the data frames on this, I would prefer them a little bit closer, but the scan tool, this seems to be standard. I can't zoom out. You can actually see the data. It's every one of these lines. It collects data. Anything in between that, it doesn't collect, so you can miss it. So let's see. Can I do that again? Yeah. I'm going to give it a quick snap throttle. And here we are. And here's where I arrived. Accelerator went up, went rich, and somewhere around here then I let it off, and then immediately after that it goes lean. So you can see on dash you have down here from 0.1 of a volt, below 0.1 of a volt, and you're going up to 0.9 of a volt on the rich side. So we have the full swing of dash oxygen sensor. It's a handy test there to have a look at, and if you had any doubts that your O2 sensor wasn't swinging between the proper voltage levels. I'm just going to go out with this now. I'm going to also get hold of my fuel trims as well to show you them. Short term, long term, RPM. It's okay. And as you can see here, here's my fuel trims that I was talking about. If your O2 sensor was stuck low, which would be indicating a lean condition, the computer then would see that, and it would interpret that as not getting enough petrol, so it would turn up the fuel. Term and short-term fuel is the amount of petrol that's getting. I've often seen these at 40 and 50% on some cars. They should be plus or minus 10%, no more. This one here now, the long term is at minus 5.5, which is not a problem. It's not ideal, but it's not a problem. Hope that information is of some use to someone using a scan tool. Of course, for more accuracy, to get your switch time, you would have to really connect up an oscilloscope. There is times you need an oscilloscope if you don't believe your data here in your scope or in your scan tool. The only other option is then to hook up your oscilloscope to the oxygen sensor itself. Thanks for watching.